The Terrifier series has become quite the interesting tale in the film world, showcasing a bunch of super low-budget, over-the-top, gory horror flicks that show not every horror fan is into that elevated stuff. Sometimes, you just want a wild splatter show, and Damien Leone definitely delivers, constantly trying to outdo his own bloody chaos with each shocking kill. He seems to revel in the fact that some viewers have actually thrown up or fainted during screenings. The movie kicks off in a cozy family house during Christmas, where the family members become the victims, and the one behind it all is Art the Clown, who's decked out as Santa and swinging an axe. There are some standout elements in these movies, especially the killer makeup effects and the often overlooked physical acting from David Howard Thornton. Back in the day, slasher flicks were all about those masked giants slicing off limbs or stabbing folks with big knives. Pretty charming, right? Then came Saw and its follow-ups, which took things to a whole new level with elaborate torture devices that dismembered victims in every way imaginable. And the twist was that they all totally deserved it. So, you might wonder, how could the Terrifier movies possibly outdo that? Damien Leone keeps getting better with each new installment in the series. This latest Terrifier film is definitely the most refined one so far. While it still serves up the wild violence fans expect, Leone spices things up with some intriguing mythology. Terrifier 3 also brings a surprising emotional depth, diving into Sienna's battles with trauma and guilt as she tries to move on from the life-altering events. Even though the focus might shift at times, Leone's knack for mixing intense gore with genuine emotion is really commendable. Terrifier 3 has made quite a splash with its shocking and gruesome scenes, leaving some early viewers feeling queasy, faint, or even bolting from the theater. While it's definitely earned a reputation for pushing the limits of gore, there's more to its bloody visuals than meets the eye. The film actually pays homage to what many call the golden age of horror, which spanned the 70s and 80s. Back then, horror flicks that crossed certain lines, like graphic violence, explicit sexual content, and other taboo subjects, were often banned by focus groups, censors, and governments, earning the label video nasties. Ironically, this ban only made them more enticing, and now many of those films are celebrated as some of the most iconic in horror history. In Terrifier 3, the way Santa's image is totally shredded is just what you'd expect. But what's really unexpected is how the sequel and Art the Clown mess with sacred and religious symbols. Instead of just drowning pretty scenes in blood and guts, Terrifier 3 dives into Christmas and religious themes to explore deeper stories and concepts. A standout moment is during a dream sequence where Sienna, now the main heroine of the series, sees her iconic sword being forged against a backdrop of the Nativity and images of the Virgin Mary. It's a surprising touch of symbolism in such a brutally irreverent film, suggesting there's more to Sienna's character as a potential savior or even a messianic figure. Art the Clown has a sidekick now, Victoria, who first appeared in the original Terrifier film. She's going from being a victim to becoming his partner in crime. Art the Clown doesn't let a little decapitation at the end of Terrifier 2 hold him back. He gets back up, and alongside his disfigured victim from Terrifier 1, Victoria Hayes, played by Samantha Scafidi, he keeps on hunting down victims throughout the Christmas season. Art continues to take lives without a second thought, taunting his victims while he mimics their agonizing cries. This time, he spices things up with a touch of childlike joy, bringing in Christmas and Santa vibes to his unsettling act, complete with festive decorations that add a dark twist to the humor. I figured I had witnessed everything after a shocking opening scene with a family of 4 on Christmas Eve. Some of the killings were so extreme, along with a few other gross-out moments, that even fans who usually enjoy horror were left shocked. It keeps the crazy moments coming, and even though the story isn't exactly gripping, it doesn't hold back the non-stop chaos. No one is immune to death, and being an adorable kid won't protect you from it either. If you're on the edge of your seat wondering if Leone can outdo the most intense moments from Terrifier 2, like that wild bedroom scene or the notorious hacksaw moment from the first film, you can relax. He definitely does. Get ready for some serious buzz among horror fans about a shower scene that nods to Psycho before diving into some seriously twisted stuff, plus a particularly gnarly scene at a construction site. Just a heads up, the third film does run a bit long. While it's mostly easy to overlook because it's such a blast and totally outrageous the whole time, it can feel a bit draining and might benefit from some editing. But honestly, I had an absolute blast at the theater.